in Syria, there is something really, really fascinating going on. And obviously, we're used to just the horror show that's been happening, whether it's, all of the atrocities and horrors inflicted by ISIS, the atrocities and horrors inflicted by the Assad government, the kind of multivariable civil war, our engagement there, our air campaign that's obviously adding significant damages to the civilian population, not necessarily advancing any type of real reversal against ISIS, although certainly the Kurds are with their tremendous fighting capacity. And I am totally have zero apologies about how much we should be supporting the Kurds. And as part of supporting the Kurds, here is a fascinating story about something that's taking place along Syria's border with Turkey and northern Iraq. And it's a mainly Kurdish area, and it's a population of about 4.6 million people, and these people are fighting ISIS, and it is under the governance of the Democratic Union Party and the Kurdish National Council. And basically, they essentially are implementing an anarchist politics in this region. Now, one part of it, and I will tip a hat to libertarian friends here, and maybe my position on guns might be different in this context. This is a very heavily armed area for pretty obvious reasons. So that's one thing that is fair to mention. But in the canteens of Rojava, which is the city where the central government is, there is, quote, and this is from a report by Gareth Watkins. I think it originally appeared in Vice. 40%, an absolute minimum of 40% of delegates to the assembly are women. That's mandated. The Democratic Confederation's chief architect Abdullah Öcalan says, quote, ecology and feminism are central pillars of the system that he has designed. In Rojava, quote, men who beat their wives face total ostracism from the community, making their lives in a highly socially connected society virtually impossible. Instead of a police force and jails, quote, peace committees in each municipality work to diffuse cycles of interfamily revenge killings by consensual agreements between both sides, and it works, end quote. Now, there's still criticism of this system. There's very young people, including as young as 12, who are being basically trained to fight in Kurdish fighting forces. Again, I think there's some. I wouldn't categorically dismiss that, given the situation as it is, to be blunt. But you're looking at, in addition to all of these internal reforms, a military force that has helped protect the Yazidis, which are a Christian minority that ISIS had pretty much wanted to genocide. And they're implementing this politics. And not only this politics, this social transformation amongst a very large part, and not at all insignificant part of the population in Syria. And when we talk about who we look for solidarity with, and one of the reasons that I get irritated with, the search to, if Putin is acting against America, then I'm with him. Or if Assad is opposed to this, then he must, there must be some secret conspiracy about this or that. I'm not interested in any of these people. I'm not interested in the mechanics of our foreign policy because of how it impacts most people in the world. I'm not a supporter of that. I'm not a supporter of the regional hegemony of Russia. I'm not a supporter of the right and human rights abusers anywhere, whether they are in Ukraine or Syria. And I'm certainly not a supporter of any type of fanatical, brutal terrorist group, nor many of our responses to them, which only adds to the problem and kills many innocent people. But I am in complete solidarity with Kurdish anarchists fighting this battle. And I'm always going to look for those examples of real people on the ground fighting real battles and really innovating. And that, to me, that's what this politics is about. That's genuine democratic politics. That's Majority Report. That's what we're actually committed to. And I have nothing but respect, admiration for what they're doing, even if it fails. Doesn't matter.